Austin, how are we? Yes, I'm back. I'm back right now. I hope everyone's going well. And, how's everyone, during these silly times? I came across I think it was a new, alternative to Twitter called, I think it's called Mastodon. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It's similar to how Twitter started out apparently, and I'm always looking for alternative solution. You know, and I want to know what your thoughts on this is. And, I could see we've got a couple of guests waiting. Yeah, feel free to get on stage and let me know what your thoughts are on these topics for today. Alright, I will just let you on if this is working. Oh, hi, Malcolm.
Hey, Steven, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I won't occupy the full 60 minutes here, but I will say it's good to speak with you. I haven't spoken with you in quite some time.
Nah, it's all good. How you been?
I've been preoccupied. The military likes to preoccupy our time with anything except our job responsibilities. You know how that works.
Yeah. Last Saturday, Malcolm, I went for a hike, 18 kilometres.
Really? What possessed you to do that?
I just wanted to get out of the house and I got lost, right? And, I literally, I said a prayer to Jesus. I said, Jesus, please get me home. And I'm serious. And then I was about it was about a 5-minute drive from the nearest car park, and I'm very thankful for this person for giving me a lift back because it was sort of a hot day. So those are the things I've got gratitude in my life, Malcolm.
Yes, we can definitely thank random Good Samaritans for their work.
Yeah, it was a 33-degree day. You go
33
by Fahrenheit.
degrees?
Yeah, I was well hydrated. I had 4 liters of water on me.
You didn't have any water? Is that what you're saying?
No, I did. I had 4 liters, so I was constantly trying to hydrate.
Oh, okay, good. Very good. Very good. Very
You
good.
know,
It seems like
but
you knew what
those
you were doing, but did you come with enough materials, or did you
I
just
I
didn't
I
expect the
used
hike to be as long as it was?
yeah, I had a map called All Trails, but I don't know this. It kept bumping me around.
Really?
Kept telling me to turn back or you're going the wrong way because this hiking track had all these little other tracks that you could go, which you
Uh-huh.
got to be careful. So I'm following the map, and I swear I'm on course. I knew where I was going, and yeah, it
And then
happened.
it said that you're going the wrong way?
Yeah,
Well, these maps aren't completely calibrated to be precise. They use
exactly.
a compass, and that compass isn't even precisely accurate considering the gyroscoping features on your mobile devices, which is how Google Maps and other platforms are basically operating. But there's a true north, there's a artificial north, and of course there's an azimuth north. Yes, that is
Yeah.
all clean. Yep.
What about in the military? You guys use a compass, don't you? A compass and map.
Yeah, man. We use the most oldest compass you could ever imagine. So yeah,
Good on
basically.
you.
Say again.
That's the most. I said good on you. That's the most accurate.
Yeah, that's why they always enforce us to be cognizant of our environments, to study where we're going, to study where we've gone, to study where we are going, to be weary of where we've gone. And I'm losing myself in my own sentence.
So yeah,
Sorry,
those
there's
are the
another
things that.
conversation going on in the room. Sorry, 1 second. Let me walk away.
So
Yeah.
those are the things that I have gratitude for in my life.
What's that?
That, someone just picking me up and taking me back.
That's good, man. That's honestly really good.
You
Did
know.
you thank him in
Oh yes, I did.
compensation?
I did. I did.
You're a good Samaritan, my good friend.
Yeah.
And, I think we really should appreciate, that's why I think we should be connecting more out here in the world. It's so that we feel comfortable having these kind of exchanges in our moments of vulnerability when we need help. Because I actually bumped into one of the workers here at the hospital, and they had explained to me that the elevator that we're riding on, it was a weird elevator conversation. I had not expected this kind of an interaction. But anyways, he had told me that he got stuck in the elevator for 4 hours on the 5th floor. And what do you do in a moment like
Shit.
that? What do you do?
I know.
And
Well,
it's those kind of moments where we think that the fact that we have other people that are competent in doing their jobs so that we can, get saved. And I can only imagine you had that oh fuck moment when you were there and you were stuck. But luckily there
yeah.
was a Samaritan there to take you.
The thing is,
So
what I would have had to do is I would have had to call the police and say, "Look, hey, I'm stranded. I'm exhausted. Can someone get me?" That would have been my last option.
but you didn't quit. And that's what's important. You
Exactly.
didn't give up.
I kept as calm as possible because you don't want to panic when you're lost. Never do that.
Yeah, that's kind of a recipe for disaster. I went
Exactly.
hiking in Pennsylvania with a friend of mine. We're no longer friends, so it was his former friend, and we went off the path.
Mm.
And then she was like, "Oh my God, where are we going? I'm freaking out. I lost track." I'm like, "Wait, first and foremost, you live in this area. How do you not know where you are? And secondly, just relax. It's not that deep. We can trace our steps. We can clearly
Hmm.
look. That's why you look for specific trees, you look for specific landmarks. That's why you study your environment where you go, so that you're familiar with where you are. That way, if you do get lost, you can easily turn back.
Hmm.
You can say, "Oh,
Exactly.
I saw that rock there. Ooh, I see that trail there. Ooh, that ugly bird over there. It's still there." You know?
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. That's hiking.
But
But
how does
obviously,
this equate to meditation? Is
yeah.
my question
Well,
to you.
I've been doing breath work, right? And it's really helped calm my nervous system down. And I've been doing my chakra meditation. And so I thought I'll just pull over and I'll just try and sit and just take a breather and just calm my nervous system down, because obviously, as I said, if you start panicking, you're going to lose energy and you make things worse.
This is very, very, very true. And I can attest to that because I've had my fair share of
Mm,
anxiety attacks, folks. It's real. It's real. It's a deception of the
mm,
mind, and that's where you really should ask yourself: um, Am I capable of getting through these kind of moments where I'm very unsure of myself and those around me, or just my overall environment? Do I
mm,
have the what's the word? What's the word here? I don't want to say mental stability because that's a whole nother term and that will drag out. But am I capable of being under pressure, essentially? I had to ask
mm,
myself these kind of questions because when I was experiencing these anxiety attacks, I knew that it was my body overreacting to the situation because it wasn't sure of what was going on. I was attacking myself. And
mm,
that point, going forward, whenever I started to feel it coming on, I had to control my breathing. I had to gather my thoughts. I had to slow down my brain because your brain is doing double the work. It's over here calculating the Pythagorean theorem times 10. You don't need to
mm,
be doing all that work in your head. You gotta slow down your brain, slow down your breathing. Think about something that distracts your mind. That's one thing that's also helped me. Somebody will help me because I finally found out how to help people that are having anxiety attacks because people have helped
mm,
me. So now I do the same thing to others. So if you were panting really heavily right now, Stephen, and you were like,
mm.
"I don't know what to do. I can't think. I can't think." I'm like, "Okay, hey, Stephen, what's your favorite color, by the way? Or where did you do last night? Or do you remember what you ate for dinner 2 nights ago? Or what's your favorite hobby and why?" Ask them random stuff like that. Get their mind off of the topic. Expand your knowledge as well, too. It's kind of like a test your knowledge kind of thing. But no, in seriousness, you honestly have to keep your brain from going into that very, very dark place. And to help with being able to sustain that is I almost said medication. Meditation. I mean, medication does help, but I don't go that route. I try not to go that route, of course. But in all seriousness, so that when you get into a situation where you feel as though you have no control, meditation helps. It helps slow down your heart rate. It helps you gather your thoughts. It helps your body. Honestly, it helps your body from going into shock, because I forgot what it's freaking called, but you go into a state of shock when you're when you're experiencing what they call oh my god, I can't think of words today. What's going on with me, Mac? I'll be able to develop a better statement or thesis on what I'm talking about, because for some reason my brain is Control-Alt-Deleting. But the whole point here is that when you are able to gather your thoughts and you control your breathing, and obviously you relax your body and you relax your muscles, you observe your environment, you calm yourself down. That's honestly what's helped me. And I would say the same thing to anyone, is to help them become comfortable. Think of something funny. Think of the worst case. Well, actually, I wouldn't say this, because this is what's only helped me, and I'm not a therapist, so results may vary.
Yeah, it's funny you were saying about technology. It's not the most accurate to be navigating. Obviously, it's the compass and map. But not everyone knows how to read a compass and map, by the way. I don't know how to do that.
Really?
I know where north, south, east, west is, but when you start saying, we've got to go northeast 250 degrees, that's when it gets a bit complicated.
Okay, so that's where you, my friend, should get a physical compass, or perhaps a watch or something of some sort that'll give you a physical compass, so that when you hold your wrist out, you can see what direction you're traveling in. It'll show you the azimuth, so that when somebody says, "Ooh, you got to travel north, you got to travel west," that's how you help yourself with direction association. So it's really easy to read a compass. Actually, you have your true north. Once again, you have your grid north. Your grid north is basically what north says on a map. So, like if you're reading if you're reading a map right now, there's going to be obviously a grid north on the map. That's an artificial north. And then you have your what's the third one? There's 3 different types of north. What's the word? Well, Steven, I brought myself to this, so I'm going to actually look it up. I brought myself to this.
See, I'm looking at a compass on my iPhone, and it's saying I am 191 degrees south. But is an iPhone compass accurate?
So iPhones use a gyroscoping feature based off of your location data and the position of your phone, because that gyroscoping feature basically allows your phone to be... So have you ever been on a route or driving somewhere and you see your phone or the little figure on your phone moving in the direction that you're moving in when you're traveling in a direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's using that gyroscoping feature to get the most accurate location data based off of the position of your phone. Newer phones, I think after the year of 2010, to be specific, because I don't believe the first iPhone had it. But this more accurate gyroscoping features allows for certain for these applications that you use on your phone to accurately predict where you are. Oh, I found it. Okay, so there's true north, magnetic north, and grid north. So true north is right at the top of the planet at the geographic North Pole. Magnetic north is the direction that a compass will point to. Grid north is the direction that grid lines on a map will point to. So there's that. But no, yeah, our phones are very advanced, and technology is it allows you to become more it allows you to become better at looking at your sense of, or understanding a sense of direction. But I don't rely heavily on technology. So when I go somewhere, I basically study where I'm going, and I study my way back as well, so that in the event that my phone died, in the event that technology decided to fail itself, I at least have studied where to go and where I've been. So that way I can be more reliant on myself and my greater sense of direction. So now whenever I hear north, I can immediately, and I thank the military for this, but whenever I hear north, I know exactly where north is without even having to look at a compass.
Let's talk about navigating in the nighttime as well. especially if you're in the jungle. Now that's hard to do that.
It can be hard, but once again, it's important to understand your start point and your end point, and the turns that you're making. Because
Exactly.
if you're navigating through jungle, I would only hope, especially at night, I would only hope that you can somewhat remember the directions or the turns that you took to get to where you are. If you're making a left, understand that you have to take a right on your way back. If you made a right, understand that you have to take a left on your way back. So it's basically backwards directions and geographic. Just to understand the geographics around you, understand the landscape around you. That'll help you tremendously. Or sound association as well. If you hear
you just you're breaking up a bit.
Or perhaps you see certain silhouettes of certain figures, perhaps understanding certain trees, that will help you with your location in the middle of the night. It's good to have a sense of direction.
Oh, you definitely go to. What's the most hardest places to navigate? Desert, jungle.
Yeah, I'm in an area with poor connection.
Yeah. But that,
Can you hear me? Is there an audio delay?
Yeah, it was just breaking up a bit before, but yeah, I can hear.
Okay, I think we have a brief delay because your responses are very delayed, at least on my end. But I think it's because I have really poor reception where I'm at.
I can hear. Yeah, so that's navigation.
Yes. So you asked me a question. You said which kind of environment is harder to navigate through?
Yeah.
I would honestly say an area like a jungle, or perhaps a forest, a deciduous forest, perhaps, is the hardest landscape in my personal opinion. But it's not as difficult because at that point you're at least understanding the environment around you. You're looking at specific rocks. Like I'm really good at setting my environment, so I guess I'm lying when I'm saying that it's harder to navigate through a forest because I'm looking at every single step that I make and looking at these certain trails and these certain trees, the ones that look weirder, the skinnier ones, the thicker ones. Like, that's just me though. And I'll mark. One thing you do want to do is to mark where you've been. That's why when you go on an intense hike, you set a marker, or you set a can of paint with you, so you mark a tree, perhaps. So that way, if you're on your way back and you want to turn around, you're saying, this isn't for me, I'm going to turn back around. You'll at least know that you marked a tree. And it's usually you want to do it every fifth of a mile. But that's just how I've been taught.
Now, what do you mark a tree with for the audience? Paint?
Well, yeah, I mean, simple can of paint. Like I don't go to, or you can use tape. You can use tape, any kind of tape. To be honest with you, obviously you want it to be colored tape, and also you want it to be like reflective tape, so that when you're flashing a flashlight and it's dark, you can at least know where the markers are because it's reflective tape, right? But if not reflective tape, just bright tape or paint, because paint is easy to see.
And never ever panic, ever, when you're lost.
It'll happen regardless, but it's about controlling that panic is what's important.
What about if you're lost at sea and you have to navigate in the ocean?
Once again, direction association. That's what's key. It's understanding your now with the sea. You're using grid coordinates. You're using your longitude and your latitude. So you're understanding where you are. You know where you are at all times, which is why they're giving you coordinates when you're on sea. But I can't expand on that too much because I don't work in the Navy.
No, it's just interesting. I feel now that we just rely too much on technology and not the compass and map like the old days.
Well, believe this. So these Navy ships, they're using older technology that was innovated. That has since then been innovated. So we are essentially using something that once didn't require an electronic device. It's just that these devices and their innovations make it a lot more seamless and obviously accessible for you to use to your advantage. Like what once used to be a roadmap, a physical roadmap that you could pick up at a gas station back then, is now on Google Maps or Apple Maps or Android Maps or whatever and whatnot. It's just more accessible stuff that's been around, but it just gives you a better understanding of using technology. They definitely put GPS, global positioning systems, out of business. Garmin hated their life. Their company.
A GPS? Do you carry a GPS on you? Handheld GPS.
Yes and no. Actually, no. When I'm on a mission, we basically use the maps that have been given to us. And in addition to that, we'll obviously use the compass that's given to us to understand our directions. So, obviously, if I'm living as a civilian, I'm going to use my phone as a sense of understanding where I'm at. But if I'm on a mission, we can't use technology because the whole point of being in the military is to be taught to understand your instincts without the use of technology, right?
Exactly. So, like you can buy handheld GPSs that go by the satellite connection.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And that's a good plan B to have.
It's important. It's also important to have a satellite phone. So we have a satellite phone that doesn't rely on cellular reception, so that in the event that there's no cell towers, or you're in an area where there's, of course, no reception at all, you can use a satellite phone, and that way you'll still have some form of way to get connected with somebody. But there's only a limited amount of numbers that you'll be able to dial using that satellite phone, because obviously you're reaching a different frequency when you're using a satellite phone.
What about radio?
Well, of course. So that's our primary use of, conversing with one another.
People can track you on a radio as well.
Not unless you're using a certain frequency.
Yeah.
I will not tell you what that frequency is, but yes, we're on different channels.
Wow. Technology. Yeah, see, like you can even navigate with the stars, you know that?
Yes, that's all. That's the whole point of understanding geographical and just landscape association.
You know, the stars, apparently you got the North Star as well that can help with navigation.
Right. Oh, you're good. You're perfectly fine.
You know, do you watch that show, Man vs. Wild, with Bear Grylls?
No, I have not.
He actually navigates with the stars in the desert.
That's actually pretty sweet.
You know. No, but it's like Captain Cook. You remember Captain Cook?
No, I do not.
He sailed from England to Australia in the 1800s.
In the 1800s?
Yeah. Imagine what they had to use to navigate. Stars, map, compass.
Interesting. Give me 1 second, Stephen. Just 1 second. Hey, question. Yeah. Have you seen Matthew around here?
What's his name?
Yeah, that's his name.
He went straight through here with the linen cart.
Oh, okay. Just a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's navigation.
Gotcha.
So what else is happening with you? Like, what else have you been doing? You been meditating?
Oh, that's what helps me go to sleep. That's part of my process, man. I mean, once I can get these I've since then. I don't want to ever say that I've mastered it, but I'm in the process of improving my breathing techniques so that when I'm sleeping, or so I can help me get into a more natural state of sleep. Breathing techniques help out tremendously. So once I can get myself, and then I also control my thought process, because like at one point going to sleep was like shutting down a supercomputer. You have all these thoughts just running and racing. But what's important is that you can control those thoughts by associating those thoughts with positive thoughts, by saying, hey, instead of thinking about this one thing, I'm going to think about me being on a beautiful beach. I'm going to relax, and I'm going to put myself in a good state of mind so I can help my body ease myself into rest, i.e. going into rapid eye movement sleep, which happens about 30 to 90 minutes into the third stage of sleep. But the whole point is controlling your breath, breathing techniques.
Wow. You definitely got to, yeah, definitely controlling the breath as well, because, when you're hiking and you're walking up hills and you start, your heart rate starts going up.
Yes.
It's good to calm your heart rate down.
Right, it is. It's actually really good.
And staying hydrated is very important.
Oh, you're telling me, man. That's what helps. That's what really honestly helps. Hydration, so that your body is obviously able to take on such a heavy workload. Because you can dehydrate yourself with what you drink. You can also dehydrate yourself if you are having a anxiety attack, which once again touches on what we spoke about earlier today. It's about controlling that heart rate and also controlling those thoughts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can suffer from asphyxiation, and then, of course, other symptoms may occur, but it varies per person.
Definitely. And fitness as well. You got to keep fit.
Well, define fit, because everybody's in a different kind of shape. So what do you mean by physical fitness, if I may ask?
Keeping your heart rate going so you're not going to ventilate or hyperventilate when you're doing cardio, going up a hill. Keeping your muscles strong, keeping your lungs healthy.
It's all about having stamina and endurance, being able to sustain pushing yourself over a period of time, because that's why there are sprinters in this world, and there are, cross-country runners that run for sustained periods of time. They have to build that endurance.
Now, I was watching a show on Disney Plus about people climbing up Mount Everest, right?
Mm-hmm.
People have literally died up there. There's dead bodies on Mount Everest today.
Yes.
And, you'd think, well, if someone's going to climb Mount Everest, wouldn't they have like a tracking beacon?
Tracking beacon as a remote tracker to track their location at all times?
Exactly, with satellite. They should. Or they go with a group. Because that's a dangerous climb.
Well, a percentage of, and this is a small percentage of the people that have climbed Mount Everest have died at the expense of catastrophic accidents that were unavoidable. So it's not like it's somebody's prerogative to say, "Ooh, I can't wait to climb Mount Everest and die." No. Life happens, or they slip and they fall, or avalanche happens as well, or perhaps they take one wrong fatal step and they fall off a very sharp edge that leads them into a very dark abyss.
Yeah, it's a dangerous mountain, Malcolm. Climbing to the top, you have to wear oxygen masks, and if you got if you're starting to have a heart problem, you have to turn back.
Yes, because the air becomes more thin.
Yeah, and it's very fatiguing. Tires your body out too.
You make me want to watch a Discovery Channel history review over this. I swear to God, man, every time I have a conversation with you, I always want to watch the Discovery Channel.
That's what I love about Disney Plus.
Oh, they have the Discovery?
Not Discovery, but they got some shows about, Mount Everest or hiking. So I like to watch free climbing. People climb up these mountains with no harness on. Crazy.
People are crazy, man. Or
Like there was a movie called 127. You remember that guy who went to the Grand Canyon and had to chop his arm off?
I do not.
Yeah. Anyway, he went to the Grand Canyon. He got stuck. It's a true story. And I think it was his right arm got stuck under a rock and he couldn't move it. And I think it was a few days later, he pretty much cut his own arm off with a knife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Why would he do such a thing?
Couldn't move it. The boulder it literally crushed his arm to the point it was so numb, lost all the blood flow, couldn't get out. It was his last option.
So he probably didn't feel much going into it anyways. He probably got to the very threshold to where he wasn't feeling anything, because when there's no blood flow, of course, you might not feel that much of pressure. So to him, it was probably, yeah.
It's a true story.
Oh, no, I'm not doubting the validity of this statement that you're making. I just am surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time because, I mean, there's enough pressure applied.
Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
Constrains the blood flow. No, I have not.
I have. You got to be careful. You can get lost. You can just descend probably 100 meters, and you got to know how to get back up.
Yeah, that's where it comes in your hiking skills, or perhaps just wearing the right gear as well. That's equally important.
Like in Australia, if you go to Kakadu National Park and you get lost out there, you are fucked.
Have you been there?
You're in the middle. Yeah, I've been there. Flew a helicopter over, and it's like it's so hot, right? It's like tropical. Feels like it's 50 degrees. Or you go by Fahrenheit. And you gotta. It's if you're lost out there, you're screwed. You're in the middle of nowhere. It'd be like the Grand Canyon.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to take some more hikes as soon as the weather peaks.
Yeah.
But I'll be careful for sure.
Oh, yeah, you got to. The Blue Mountains in Australia, if you get lost, it's all got this, like, forest. It's all forest, dense, especially, and if you're lost out there, you're in trouble. There's no phone reception.
No phone reception at all?
Yeah.
Well, I think moments like that is why you should probably be more reliant on your sense of direction than technology that seems to fail us each and every single day.
Oh, yeah. And you got to know where you are.
That's what, yeah, precisely, actually. It's a geographical association, just understanding where you are and where you can go from there, and understanding where you were before, so that way you can guide yourself by. That's why it's important to just have a gear and have people that are with you as well that are familiar with the geography. And if you're not, then look at a map. Look at a map and understand the landscape so that you know what you're dealing with. Like that's like investing in a stock. If you're going to invest in a stock, I would only hope that you read the charts and you look at the performance over a specified time period, so that you have a tentative idea of what you're getting yourself into. Because if you go into something blindly, then you're kind of selling yourself short. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. You got to prepare. It's preparation.
And that will help you when you're in anxiety, when you feel like that anxiety's kicking in, because at that point, at least you know where you were before. That's why it's important to have. I would say if you're going to go on an intense hike, to have a tangible map and an electronic map as well.
Well, the good thing about all trails, and I'll send it to you for your Instagram, is you can, if you're on a pro membership, which is about $30 a year, you can print your map out and you can actually mark it and you can study it, and it's good because you're helping the environment.
That is actually really good. Environmentally friendly. Yeah, please do send me that to back channels.
I'll do that right now.
Okay. But with that being said, this is the amount of allotted time that I had. But I do look forward to more. Good. I look forward to more discussions with you in the near future. So with that being said, you keep rocking out on this platform, man. You keep doing great things. Talk to you soon.
You too. Take care. All right. That was Malcolm. That was a great episode today. And, you know, always interesting to have these great conversations about, you know, life in general, meditation. But as I said before, you know, my breathwork practice has helped me calm my anxiety down, because when I was lost, you know, even saying a little prayer to Jesus, and I literally did. I don't talk shit. And, you know, someone coming to, you know, a four-wheel drive came, and I just said, look, could you get me back to the car? But I was very thankful, honestly, very thankful. And that's gratitude. I've had to learn to have gratitude in my life, you know. Gratitude is definitely helped me improve with self-improvement as well, and it's helped me become, you know, a better man. Definitely, you know. It's helped me, you know, appreciate things in my life and help me understand who I am. But look, this is a fantastic episode on, you know, the Stephen Shields radio show today. I'd like to thank all my listeners for tuning in. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the Stephen Shields radio show. You can follow me on Mastodon right now. You can follow me on Rumble, YouTube as well. I'll put all the links in the description as well. And I wish you all the best. Bye for now.